Hey, Dave Austin here. Time for your game ready. It's Monday. Let's get going. And today's subject matter is one that I truly love to share because it's something that I constantly have to remind myself. And it's, of how to get through when I'm indecisive. And so the subject today is stuck in the quicksand of indecision. It happens to us. And I'll tell you what, just by one moment, making a choice, a decision, boldly committed is the best thing you could possibly do. So often we kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure, and we wait, and then the decision is made. But we don't get to make it. It's made by something else. Hey, Tim, good to have you on today, man. Know that you're here. I'm a few minutes behind today, but we're bringing it no matter what. And Jason, God, man, you're committed. I like it. See, people who are committed to excellence keep growing their lives stronger and stronger by every little thing they do. If you have something you found that you trust, if you think someone can give you good information, keep coming to the well and drinking it. Keep coming and drinking from it because it's something that nourishes you. It's something that gives you life. Every day we need to be reminded. I don't care how often I know the stuff to work. If I'm not constantly reminded, if I'm not constantly in it, then when I have that big choice that I have to make, that decision that needs all of me, I don't make it because I haven't practiced it. I've worked with some of the greatest athletes on this planet. And one of the things that's consistent with all of them is their willingness to prepare themselves for that greatness. That's what the difference maker is preparing for it. So you know what? We can bring the same thing to our own lives. We can prepare for our championships. We can prepare for our success. And what's it going to take is making strong, powerful decisions in the moment. So now think of the vision. If you've ever watched a video or a movie where someone steps into quicksand, in that very first moment when they step in, they have more of a chance to get out than if they stay there longer. The longer they stay there, the more impossible it becomes to get out. Well, that's what indecision's all about. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you so stuck. It's like, because I know this and I've trained my brain now to make a decision and be committed behind it, now I get to do things I never allowed myself to do before. Like I was with the Army Rangers and I had a chance to jump out of there, what they do for training to jump for parachuting. Now I'm afraid of heights. And so when I got into the booth and I'm ready to jump and I've got wires tied to me, it's all going to be secure. I know that, but my old fear of heights starts grabbing hold of me. But I knew if I was indecisive, I wouldn't jump. And if I didn't jump in that moment, I'd get deeper and deeper and deeper into the fear and then would never jump. And yet here's all these people looking at me as extreme focus. I'm the guy that shows you how to work through these things. And if I didn't do it, that wouldn't really, why would they even want to listen to me? So I had to just take on my fear and I had to make a very decision, just let the feet go, jump. And I did it. But see, that's what keeps us from having good, clear, committed decisions, is because the fear of making a mistake. The fear that, oh, what if it's wrong? Well, you know what? When you make a commitment and you're bold behind it, you are so much further ahead. But it takes practice. It takes practice of trusting your inner voice. Every day I go through a process where I allow myself to quiet my mind and listen to that voice that's stronger than mine. It comes from within me, but it's a better voice, and I can trust it because I've learned over time to trust it. So when I need to make a decision, I go ahead and make a bold decision. Now today I wrote an article that you'll get if you go to our webpage, the Extreme Focus webpage, and I'll also post it on the comment how to go to it. And it's everything I'm talking about with a little bit more detail. I'm going to every week now, either myself or Extreme Focus coaches are going to put some kind of blog together that can move you through whatever challenges you have. And this is a big one. This is a very big one. When I was coaching, I mentioned about athletes. I was coaching a pitcher in Major League Baseball. And I remember he came in and he says, gosh, what happened? He had a bad inning. He was having a pretty good game. He says, but you know what? I just got indecisive on which pitch to throw. My catcher would tell me one thing, and I knew I wanted to throw something else, but he was telling me to throw something else, and so he didn't throw the pitch with the same commitment. And out of that, all of a sudden, he got tentative. Now he had a hard time finding the strike zone, and when he did, it got belted. Here's a pitcher, a major league pitcher, very good pitcher. But now, because he's indecisive, he's not making a committed pitch, he's not going to have the same results. So we worked and worked on it to give him trust. And I said, you know what? Ultimately, your win or loss is going to fall on you, not on the catcher. It's great to have that support partner, someone you trust, but ultimately, if you're feeling this is the right pitch, go with it. Throw it, though. Now you'll throw it with commitment. And by throwing it with commitment, then you have a better chance of succeeding. It's that committed approach that's going to help you succeed. So think about that in business. I just had someone earlier today, one of my clients, tell me that they'd been holding off making this phone call. And all of a sudden, we had a phone call yesterday, something triggered them and say, no, I'm going to call now. Just go ahead and do it. She called and she was rewarded greatly. But if she hadn't made the call, she wouldn't even had a chance. Because I don't know, should I do this? Should I not do this? And then the call's never made. But by making the call, now she's on something that's fantastic. I have another client who was incredible. Just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about, and I introduced him to another one of my clients, and they're working together now, and it could have gone on and on, going, well, down the road, we're going to do this. He just made a bold decision. No, I want a timeline on this. I want to go ahead and move forward. Book the studio. We'll figure it out as we go. I said, really? So I called the studio, booked the studio for next week, and now everything's falling into place because he made a very, very committed decision, which was very powerful to us. We went, wow, let's make that decision together. And when we combine that strength of that decision, now things are in motion that are fantastic. So sometimes, you might be uncomfortable in making that decision. But as you do make that decision and you learn that it's okay, you can become comfortable even when you're uncomfortable. I don't think there's a athlete that I've ever worked with that goes onto a field that's completely comfortable, because if they are, they're complacent. They're not going to perform at their best because they're too complacent. So it's fine to be uncomfortable. And once you learn that it's okay to be uncomfortable, then you can become comfortable being uncomfortable. And fear doesn't mean that our courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It is having fear, but walking through the fear. That's how you make bold, solid decisions. And if you really, and I've worked with so many business people, athletes, even with the Army and the Navy. It's about making strong decisions, committed decisions. Build up your trust muscle. Practice it. Practice it just like an athlete is going to practice to go and play their sport. Practice building that trust muscle. Think of something, well, gee, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it's just a phone call to someone. Make that phone call right now. Don't even wait. And then see how that works. You start trusting more and more. Take your time and quietly go into a place where you're just quiet and allow yourself, ask some questions and allow some answers to come through you. Now trust in those answers that you're capable of tapping in to this energy or this intelligence beyond you. The more you do it, the more trustworthy you become. You start building what I call your trust muscle. So when you need it most, you have it. You have it there available to you. If you don't practice it, then that time that you need to make a bold decision, you won't make the decision. And, decisions are constantly coming each and every day. I did just even in my own life. It's funny. Last night I got a text saying, hey, can you play tennis tomorrow? We would need a fourth in doubles. Can you play at 1:30? Well, I'm free at 1:30 today. And I thought, gee, I'd like to. It's been raining here. I'd like to get out on the court. But then I was indecisive. I went, gee, I don't know if I have the time. I better check on it, which is fine. I text back and say, hey, I'll let you know in the morning. And so this morning, as I thought about it, I thought, I can make that time. But then I got a text saying, oh, we've already filled it. So the decision was made without me making it. Someone made it for it. Sometimes you just have to make a bold decision, make a decision, and the why is the important part. Like for me and what I just explained to you wasn't important enough to me. I mean, I would have loved to play tennis, and now I'm disappointed I didn't get back, but there wasn't a big enough why. I didn't have this like, oh, I've got to. When you have something you really want to achieve, that's when you make these committed decisions boldly and strongly and walk into them, because your why is so big. You value what you're going after. When I just talked about my client, he is so passionate about seeing this forth and having the impact in so many lives. He already knows this is going to have a major impact. We're all caught up in that energy of it. I went, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's just move on. And then, you know, it's funny, all the strategy comes forth. We were talking about it for months, but at the moment we made a clear decision, it's like, bam, all the answers are coming faster than they ever would have come, because it's forced us into asking the right questions and then keep asking more questions that become more questions, that the answers just show up and we receive it. And it's so clear now. Clarity is strength, fogginess is weakness. Making bold decisions and then being committed behind them will give you clarity. So even if that decision you go, well, gee, that wasn't the best, it was made so committed that it actually ends up being a smart decision anyway, because you're training yourself to trust and keep moving forward. So whatever you do, everything can work to your advantage. Even if it looked like, well, wait a minute, this didn't work out exactly, but you know what? It probably led you to something you would have been never led to. You would have never gotten to this point to where you can now boldly see so clearly. So now another bold decision is made, and now you're perfect, and now you go, wow, I'm so glad I made that decision. Even though it didn't turn out the way I thought it might to at first, it ends up working in your favor. Jeffrey, good to have you back from Hawaii. I'm jealous. I think you're back from Hawaii. Maybe you're not back to, you might be on from Hawaii right now. I love the resort you built out there. I'm looking forward to spending some time out there. But anyway, Jeffrey, you had to make a bold decision to decide to do what you're doing with that resort. You just built all this new fancy pool, a lot of money involved in doing it, but you know what? You made the decision. You made the decision, and now you're stepping behind it, strong. And then you're successful because of that. And you'll learn, there'll be adjustments, there'll be curves that come along, but at least you made the decision. You're in the game. Put yourself in the game. Too many people just stay in the stands. Put yourself in the game so that you can get up and take a swing. Yeah, you might strike out, but at least you're up there in the batter's box, so to speak, of life. Give yourself that gift. And the moment, again, that you have some indecision going on, just have that picture, what I just gave you, of that person in quicksand. The longer you stay in it, the deeper it gets, the harder it is to get out of it, because you just sink into this indecisiveness, and then the decision's made, but it wasn't made by you. In the blog I wrote, it says, it's your choice or not. So always keep life in your hands. Keep the ball in your hands, so that when you're in that game and you're going down for the final score, you having the ball is much better than the others having the ball. Why give the ball away? Own it yourself. That's the power of committed decisions. I know that I couldn't have achieved half of what I've achieved if I wasn't willing to make bold decisions. And I know I lost out on some things because I didn't make bold decisions. So it goes both ways. But I keep practicing every day, quieting my chatter in my mind and trusting more deeply. And when I trust more deeply, I have more inner peace. I have more strength. So when I come forward in a bold decision, I come forward what I call quiet strength. Quiet strength. And that's going to lead me into great success, because I do it one step at a time, and then that develops into another opportunity for another bold decision. And as long as I keep taking the decisions, even if I'm uncomfortable, but I boldly take it, then I'm committed. And we go right back to that pitcher I talked about, who's committed behind his pitch. My son plays professional football. He's a quarterback. If he throws an interception and he comes back the next series with that thought of the interception. Then when he drops back, he's got that thought. So now he's not in the perfect timing. A quarterback, to be successful, has to be completely tuned into perfect timing with his receivers. But if you start going second guessing yourself, you lost that moment of success. So you have to empty the trash can of whatever just took place and keep putting yourself into the perfect timing of success. And the only way you can stay in the perfect timing of success is if your vision is clear, very clear on your objective, and know when you make that decision, you act behind it boldly. That's a tremendous gift that you bring to yourself. If you're looking to be better, if you're looking to step your game up, then you have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing, even if you're uncomfortable, say, I'm doing this and I'm making a bold decision. I have worked my way through life making decisions. Not everything has worked out perfectly, but each decision has put me in a better position when I make them rather than somebody else, rather than give someone else the ball. So hold on to the ball, march down the field, and score the winning touchdown in your own life. So let's do our game ready, our visualization, which we do every week. The more you see it, the more. This is what we talk about. You want to make bold decisions. You want to be able to trust in your decisions. Then start seeing your success in advance. That's what we do in these game readies. So before you even close your eyes, I want you to just take a moment, because this is the power, the true power. The gift of the strength of life is just think about something you're grateful for. Think about that which you have, not what you don't have. Think about all the gifts you do have. And let that build up and let it put a smile on your face, because a smile gives you endorphins, that gives you a power in your body. It's an energy that takes place. So smile. And then the more you smile, the more you're thankful for things, the more you have to be thankful for. So in the power of that gratitude, I want you to close your eyes. Now, as you close your eyes, I want you to see your gate. And as you pass through your gate, oh my, I want you to see the gate and come through into this place in nature. Remember, it can be a place you've been to before, be a combination of places, or you're co-creating it. Come into a lush place and just rejoice in the beauty that you're putting yourself into right now. See the beauty and be lifted by the beauty. Nature loves to be appreciated, so you're just taking it on. And breathe it deep through your nose, all the way deep. Hold, and then release out your mouth. At least 5 times, because you're breathing in a strength beyond your own. It's available to you, but you got to take the time to breathe it in. Breathe in this beauty. Breathe in this gift. Don't just whip on by the gifts that are right here in front of you. Take this power and allow it to be deep within you and breathe it in. Now step more boldly, more confidently forward and see a gate at the other end. When you go through that gate, now you're seeing yourself in your life. And see yourself, even if you're a bit nervous about something you'd like to go after, see yourself having the courage. Remember, courage is not in the absence of fear. Courage is in spite of fear, and moving forward in it. And then watching yourself make another bold decision, one step at a time. That's the key. One step. See yourself one step. And then take the next step. And then take the next step. And now see yourself going, wow, like you can't believe that you're here having that which you truly love. What a gift it is. But when you get clear on it, you make a clear decision. I made a clear decision in December. You know, I did a game ready when I talked about, why New Year resolutions don't work, because we're not committed behind them. Set goals. I made a bold goal, and you know what? It's coming forth, because now that I made it so boldly, I'm starting seeing it, and now I start making the opportunities show up so that I can receive it. So just receive that right now in your mind. Receive that, man, you made a bold move, and you're so grateful that you had the courage to even make that bold goal. So see yourself achieving it. Look back at each step you took and rejoice in each step. Even when there was a challenge, look back and see how that challenge actually became a gift. It was actually something that didn't take you down. It took you closer to the top of the mountain. See that and own that. Feel that completely. Feels so good. Rejoice. Celebrate every little step of victory for you. Now come on back through the gate. Come back into this place of peace and beauty. So good to always come here. You didn't have to pay thousands of dollars. You didn't have to fly anywhere. You didn't have to spend hours on an airplane. You're putting yourself here right now because the more you do this, the more it becomes so real. And you can just rejoice in it completely. So the next time you do travel someplace, the next time you do fly to be in a beautiful place in nature, guess what? You'll enjoy it more because you see it daily. It's easier to tap into the gratitude of what this life is when you constantly put yourself in a position to appreciate it. Go to the well of water that's running there. Drink from it. It's so ice cold, so refreshing. You can feel invigorated. You can feel completely inspired in this moment. Now you're walking with an inner contentment, an inner peace, a joy that no matter what you're facing today, you're facing it with a new reborn strength. So walk boldly. Know that you've been given everything you need to achieve that which you desire. It just takes your courage and your willingness to step boldly forward. So now you've seen it. You've appreciated this beauty that you've put yourself in. Go ahead now in the strength of that and step out through the first gate. You're game ready. You're game on. And take some time. Go ahead and go to our webpage and read. So it's a little more detail on the quicksand of indecision and step into the solid footing of decision making. It's all there for you. And I hope someday, if you've never been through our Beast Mode On, that you'll sometime say, you know what, I'm going to make a bold decision and see what happens. If I go 30 days and I know that I'm going to be giving every step, every little detail so that I can't miss in life. But you know what? It doesn't matter what we give you. It's really what you receive. We've got the knowledge, we've got the experience, we've got the success. But for you to own it, you have to trust in it and say, I can have that kind of success. I deserve that kind of success. Even if you're even if you're successful now, there's new levels of success because you know what? Real wealth is winning at every level. It's winning in the love of your life. It's winning in the money that you bring in. It's living in the joy that you bring each day to every situation. That's what real wealth is. So why not allow yourself to step into that on a daily basis? I'm no different than you. I need to do this daily. If I don't, I fall prey to my own individual hang-ups, my own, it's easy for me to get the fear or to get the emotions in front of me so that it's blocking me from my objective. But when I say, get behind me, I'm seeing this and this is where I'm stepping, I live in strength, and that strength is available to each and every one of you. So thanks for being on. You are game ready. Beast mode on. Be the beast. Unleash those animal instincts within you for our performance-driven life. Thanks.